very excited to be in Georgia for the runoff and beyond. And I say beyond because that's key here, because ultimately outside of making sure that we have a Senate that we can work with to get the goals that we want to see and for a livable wage and to truly build back better, like Biden says, we have to make sure that Ossoff and Warnock win the election. So we are targeting young voters of color, and particularly young voters that will be turning 18 by that voter registration deadline. That is very, very important right now to us. So what we're doing, our formula is simple. We're partnering with those that have paved the way for Georgia to be blue, and that's Black-led organizations, particularly organizations led by Black women, and of course youth organizations. So our partners are very unique. We have partners ranging from the Future Coalition. You may have heard of them. They're a youth group. They're down here in Georgia collaborating with some working class, multiracial groups, and we're in that coalition called Peaches for a Purpose. And we'll also be partnering with historically voting centered organizations like Black Voters Matter to show how climate intersects with any issue that you can really talk about. You can talk about how climate intersects with healthcare, with our economy. And that's also why, we personally feel like the Green New Deal is the best bet for Southerners, but we have to do that work to get folks to understand and resonate with why a Green New Deal would impact Southerners for the better. So that is the heart of our why, so to speak. So what we're doing on the ground, it's pretty similar to what we've done for the primaries and the general election. It's just going to be condensed, of course, to a specific state. So we'll be doing phone banking, we'll be doing text banking. We're also going to pilot our first bout of canvassing this year, which we'll be doing, I like to say, instead of door to door, doorstep to doorstep, because we want to make sure folks are safe and have all their PPE to get the vote out. But we've seen time and time again that face-to-face or screen-to-screen contact is still one of the most effective ways to reach voters. And so in short, that's what we're doing. We're building power. We'll be doing trainings. We'll be doing canvassing. So there's a level of engagement for anyone. And if you're worried about, being outdoors, that's fine. You can text bank. If you think that's a little boring for you and you want to go out and have actions, we have an actions team. I know you all have maybe or maybe not seen some of our wide awake actions in the past, where we've gone to Mitch McConnell's house to hold him accountable for his lack of insight on just how serious the Breonna Taylor situation is. And we do that across the board. We're nonpartisan in our approach to holding people accountable. So we're very excited to be here, and the work is just beginning. I think they're worried about their future, and I know that's a very blanketed statement, but they are literally concerned about, living wages. I mean, it's 2020 and some of our minimum wages have been the same for the past 20 years. Some of us has grown up, I'm from Georgia, I'm from Augusta, Georgia. I have siblings 2 hours from Atlanta. We were brought up to believe that, you get yourself a good job, you go to college, and everything will be okay. And this generation has seen that that's not necessarily true. You can still go to college and on top of being in a whole lot of debt, probably not have the success that you thought you would have. So we have to reimagine a better South. And I think that is what's on the forefront of every young person's mind. And also, we're done with incremental change. So young people are done listening to the idea that we have to be thankful for where we are because we've come so far. But how far have we actually come if folks are still, young people as well, still choosing between healthcare and putting food on the table? And they're choosing between having fun and educating people, because some of our youth feel like their, youth was stolen because of, the high rate of crime, the poverty rates, and the things that they've had to do to step up and be, the providers in their families to help their mothers and their fathers out in their households. We have to localize the idea that change in Washington starts at home. It starts with the conversations that we have, for youth, the conversations they have with their parents, and vice versa. There has to be change. We have to be imperative about our mandate of who we have in these seats. And if they are silent or, unhelpful in any type of legislation that's passed. I mean, before climate, the South was home to terrible abortion bans, terrible, reproductive health measures, terrible gerrymandering and redlining that still exist. But you know what? What we've seen in 2020 is that they didn't do that great of a job because Georgia flipped blue. So that is what's on the forefront of youth's mind is either you are going to fight for us or we need you to get out of the way.